What is up, mofos? Back here with Holden for
what a disaster.
Our last hurrah, if you will, for week 17. As you can see, Holden's rocking like a little Terminator action look today. Got the hair slicked back, the big glasses. Mm-hmm. He's actually wearing sunglasses indoors. That was a song, I think.
I wear at night. I wear my sunglasses at night.
So we're coming off a 1-1 week, and I'm starting to think like maybe I should wear the sunglasses this week.
I lost. I'm on like a 3-week losing streak, dude.
No, I mean like because we typically match. Like this week, we're just like polar opposites. You got the hair slicked back, the sunglasses.
Yeah,
I got the backwards hat, no sunglasses. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll finish off these videos strong with maybe a little 2-0 from us to end the week. Because I mean, this is it. Holden. I mean, shed a tear.
You're not gonna like today's pick.
I don't think people are gonna like mine either.
Are you going Jonathan Taylor?
I mean, no, I'm not going to prop, but I don't think people are gonna like my pick either. But we'll see. We'll see. I know that sometimes I don't give the most popular plays out anyway. But yeah, other than that, last week of the year, I know that always brings some interesting turbulence, if you will. I always advise people this is not the week to be going heavy on any bets. I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, if you like 1 or 2 bets, sure, roll big on them, but don't be going up and down the slate betting 10, 15 games this week. If there's any week you shouldn't be doing it, it's week 1 and this week. Just so much, trying to handicap motivation and how much is that worth to a line and not worth to a line, and teams that have nothing to play for, what's that worth to a line? It's ultimately trying to figure that out. It's always difficult, but all in all, excited for the show.
So here we go, gentleman. Are we doing one next week? I would love to.
We could. We'd have to probably do it on Saturday. There's 6 games.
Or Friday. Yeah, Friday maybe.
We could.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys heard of the Inside the DFS studio, but this week, JJ's on it. We talked a lot of cool stuff. So I'm looking, if you want to know about his process and everything like that, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I felt a little cavity searched, but it's fine.
Well, I just find the whole Twitter thing with you and your dad absolutely amazing. And we had to bring up grandma, and then we had to actually talk serious stuff. And yes, Randy, thank you to JJ for covering to it's 27.5. Now, I was completely out of it last night and listening to it in the background. I think I fell asleep at the start of the 4th quarter. So I was like 7:30 out here.
It was nice to win one of those coin flips late.
Yeah.
One of those games that could have went either way late, but it was nice to finally win one of those. I feel like I haven't won one of those in like over a week. So it was nice to finally get one of those on the board.
All right. So we got 14 games to get to. If you don't like a game, let's just scrap it. Okay.
Yeah.
We're not going to have time. Oh boy. Let's do this. Dallas and the Giants, 1:00 game. Dallas laying 1.5 on the road. The total here is 44. It's not like the Giants are going to lay down in this game. As a matter of fact, they're probably just about as motivated as Dallas to try and knock them out, JJ.
Yeah, so this is not a game I'm going to be betting, but lean-wise, definitely lean the Giants. So I always say it's like whenever you're in the NFL and teams are kind of meeting with streaks, okay, Dallas coming off a 3-game winning streak, Giants 3-game losing streak. This is really when you like to target teams as far as where value is, right? Because these teams played 3 weeks ago. Giants might be 3.5, maybe even 4 in this spot. Instead, they're actually getting points. And when I said 3.5, 4, I figured they were going to be minus 3.5, 4. If this game was played 3-4 weeks ago, now you're playing it. Now Dallas is a road favorite. I get it. Dallas has looked really good. Their defense has looked elevated as well. But needless to say, the Giants defense, I've said all year, has been an underrated defense. It's in MetLife, right? I mean, I'm over here in Jersey. It's snowing here. I don't know if it's going to continue to be snowing. I don't know if it's going to be snowing by game time, but yeah, a little unexpected snow here. A little unexpected snow here this morning. I've got about an inch on the ground, and I don't know how much more is coming. But yeah, I mean, and I live 5 miles from the stadium, so just a little added. It's going to be cold. Always get that dome team traveling into a cold front, if you will. But either way, I like the Giants here. Just from a value perspective, I know Daniel Jones could turn the ball over. I know Andy Dalton, the offense has looked great. But for me, it's all about value. This line's off. Probably you could argue even the wrong team is favored. So lean Giants. So the reason why I don't want to bet the Giants myself is because I just have some fear over how good Dallas has looked. And that's not really a train I want to step in front of right now. But if you're looking for my perspective, I would be on the Giants.
What's up, boys? Everybody saying hi. Adam, Otter, Rich, Randy, Christopher, Kyle, KJ. The future is too bright, buddy. That's why. Mikey, I don't have an answer in this Austin Hooper over 3.5 receptions at plus 145 because I didn't look at that prop this week, but that's
I think that line's right. Total.
Actually, on this game, the icon. Do you like the under in the Giants game?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I think the line's fair there. Right. I think that Dallas has been scoring this. Dallas has been scoring like 25 or 30 every week, right? Mm-hmm. But they had two home games, and then on their road game was against the Bengals. You know, now they're going on the road outdoors. Probably going to slow them down a little bit at least, right? And the Giants just seem to always play low scoring. So overall, I'm going to avoid.
Rich saying he'd rather run his balls through 100 yards of glass before betting on Danny Jones. I think that you wouldn't do that. I think you're just saying that. Howdy, Patrick.
Woodland Park, Justice.
Woodland Park. That's where you are. Matthew Lewis.
Where I originate.
Yeah, I gotta get going here. I'm all let's move on to this next one. Pittsburgh, Cleveland. I mean, is Cleveland actually going to cover laying 9 points, even though the Steelers are sitting everybody today? Total here is 43. This is gross to me. You got something here?
Yeah. So, look, I get it. Pittsburgh's going to be a popular play more than likely, right? But Mason Rudolph's a really bad quarterback. He's proven that in his, short career. And the big thing with him is also he turns the ball over. And I know that they went on record saying Roethlisberger's not playing. I mean, why would they be playing many more other starters? Like, for instance, TJ Watt probably won't play the whole game. Why would he? But again, this goes back into what I said earlier in the video. It's very hard to handicap this type of game where you get a team in Cleveland that's going to go full throttle to try to win this game. And Pittsburgh is going to win this game as much as they want to win this game. I mean, of course they could win this game, but like they're going to have to do it with a bunch of second stringers. And wouldn't it be something though if once again the Browns did not make the playoffs because they blew a big game week 17. But either way, this has been a great year for Cleveland. Stefanski's been great. You would figure they end this year on a high note, just winning this game. Now, will they cover? I guess that's to be determined. This defense is definitely not very good. Of course, you get the whole Mason Rudolph, Myles Garrett narrative here with Garrett being named captain. But either way, I'm going to avoid this game as well.
All right, next game to get to. Let's see if any of these games we like. Do you like any 1 o'clock games? I guess I should just ask you that. You like Jets, New England? Do you like Minnesota, Detroit, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Miami, Buffalo? Any of these games you like?
Yeah, so I don't need to talk Miami, Buffalo, okay. and I don't need to talk on Baltimore, Cincinnati.
All right, so let's get Jets and New England.
Yeah, so Jets, New England, this is an interesting game for me because, Holden, if somebody told you week 17 of the NFL season, the Jets would be a 3-point dog on the road against New England, and both teams would have nothing to play for. I mean, wouldn't you be a little shocked? Like, I mean, New England's going to start everybody today, or should start everybody today, and they're a 3-point favorite against the Jets. The Jets have won 3 straight, or 2 straight, 3 straight. New England looks like they want nothing to do with this season anymore. And how crazy is this? If the Jets win this game, which they very well could, Adam Gase will win 3 straight to end the year. Does that keep his job? I mean,
no, he's already getting fired. He shouldn't keep his. There's no way he's keeping his job. He's gone tomorrow. Black Monday's tomorrow. He's going to join the train. Put him on it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely should happen. But guys like him and Anthony Lynn. I mean, Anthony Lynn's about to end his season on a 4-game winning streak. So
what are we going to do? What are we going to do without Anthony Lynn? Who are we going to bitch about next? Because we're going to need a new guy to just Gase. If Gase and Lynn are gone, who are we going to make fun of next year?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean, as far as head coaches go, yeah, who then becomes the new worst head coach? Yeah, I guess that's a tough call. I'll tell you what, Peterson from Philly is starting to enter the conversation.
Yep.
But either way, yeah. So this game in particular, look, I get it. New England might look good. Maybe the Jets look good. But the reason why I want to talk about this game is this shouldn't be a game any of you are betting. And I know that it's kind of like ironic the fact that Holden asked me what games that I'm not betting and talk about, and I specifically chose this one because this is definitely a game you shouldn't bet. Like the Jets are a small underdog and they've been playing really well, but that's why the line is what it is. New England has no business it looks like they have no business playing the season. But would it be crazy for Belichick to kind of go out on a high note on this season? Like, would it be? So either way, I don't think this is a game you should want to play. As far as the total, it's a low total. Points are probably not going to be scored regardless, but it's a low total, could accidentally go over. Overall, wanted to discuss some narratives there, but I will be off this game.
Okay, very good. Let's move on to Minnesota, Detroit. I actually have a lean in this one. I think Minnesota -4 on the road at just a complete debacle of a Lions team. Stafford is playing. Who knows if he finishes the game? He's so banged up. The total here is 54. I mean, the Minnesota defense is bad enough, but I mean, can we expect Detroit to cover that, to score enough points to do it? You got anything here on Minnesota, Detroit?
Yeah, so lean over. I know it's down to 53.5. These teams both have been like really, really bad defensively. So the last 3 weeks, yards per play, both these teams rank in the bottom 4 of the NFL. You know, I believe I saw it that the Vikings have given up at least 24 points in 7 straight games. The Lions have given up like 30 or more points in like 6 of their last 7. These teams are just horrible defensively. And as far as Stafford, like I know the Lions coaching staff is probably telling him to sit. He probably wants to play really bad here. Now, look, he's got a big paycheck coming, right? Because he's going to probably want to go somewhere, wants to make sure people know what he's still got in the tank. The dude, though, literally has like 8 different injuries. He's practically like Bicentennial Man going out there today. You're just kind of hoping he stays afloat. But ultimately, if he stays upright, which, you know, this team's not going to put much pressure on him, they should be able to move the ball with pretty ease against the Vikings. And let's not forget the Bucs. I mean, the Bucs could have put up 80 on this Lions secondary. They get no pressure. They play very soft coverage. Cousins should be able to move the ball downfield against this team. And look, Madison, I mean, you know, I know he's a downgrade from Cook, of course, but not that bad. There should be running room in there as well. Not a bad look to go. Not a bad look for old Kirk's passing prop either. Passing touchdowns. Because again, Madison's good, but he kind of needs a few more wiggle room. Needs a little more wiggle room than Cook does. So definitely a decent look there. But overall, lean over for this game.
I like this. I like that. I'm over. You just talked me into it, though. Atlanta, Tampa Bay. Total here is 50. You've got Tampa Bay laying 7 points at home against a division rival. Tampa Bay needs it, though. Brady's looking like, I mean, if you don't have a pass rush, Brady can carve you up, and Atlanta doesn't have a pass rush, JJ.
Yeah, so it's not going to be my best bet.
This is?
Yeah, so Tampa Bay team total under. Depends where you get it. I'm seeing 28, 29, and 30.5. For the sake of this video, we'll meet in the middle at 29.5.
Okay.
But like I saw 28.5 low vig points bet, 29.5 DraftKings, 30 at FanDuel. Like I said, we'll meet in the middle at 29.5. So a few reasons why I like this. So ultimately, the Falcons have given up this number, believe it or not, once in their last 10 games.
Wow.
And the one time they did it, though, was against the Tampa Bay Bucks. But here's the thing. So this Falcons defense is definitely underrated. More of a bend, don't break defense. Yards per play, they're not that bad at all. And again, their offense has shown enough life that they stay on the field and they take up time on drives too. So does Tampa. People look at this Tampa team so they play the Lions, sure. Okay, they play the Lions with nobody in that secondary, and Brady just kind of carves them up all game long.
Yes.
But outside of that, like, this team isn't exactly world-beating offensively. I get it. You know, then there's the other narrative to this, Holden. What does Tampa truly have to play for in this spot? You know, they're already locked into the playoffs. Obviously, a win locks them up into the NFC East opponent. But are they really trying to break the mold today? Are they really trying to, if I'm Arians, I want to see good offense from my guys. If we have a good offense in the first half and maybe we're winning, is it crazy to think he starts sitting some of these guys? I don't understand. I don't understand why these guys would play a full. You got an older team, obviously Brady at the helm. If they have a lead late, why would Arians want to risk this? Again, they're in the playoffs regardless. I'm sure they want to play the NFC East opponent in the first round, though. So I'm not saying they're going to just completely lay down today. But the idea that, you know, they're just going to pile up points, I don't really see that today. Could happen. But I know this Falcons defense has been very, very good. You know, quietly underrated. And again, bend don't break. They don't give up a lot of points. Tampa's numbers are a little skewed from their last win against Detroit. But for the most part, this is not a team that puts up 28.5 every game. I mean, think about it. So they put up 31 against the Falcons, 26 Vikes, 24 Chiefs, 24 Rams.
I like it.
So ultimately, could Tampa roll today big time? They could, of course, but I'm gonna play the numbers here and roll under 29.5 team total.
I'm telling you on that, buddy. I like it. All right, we're done with the 1 o'clock games. So any 3 o'clock, any 4 o'clock games we want to cross off. Jacksonville, Indy, anything here?
So the thing with Jacksonville Colts is, and I've said this weekly about this team, Jacksonville's games just go over. Like I know that they the one game they didn't go over was against the Titans. Mm-hmm. But now they play the Colts, and like the thing with Jacksonville is they give up points to everybody. Like look at their game logs. I mean, they just give up 30 plus to everybody they play. And the Colts offense, you could argue, has looked as good as it's looked all year. Now they did hit a road bump in that second half against the Steelers, which was a little odd. But needless to say, now moving from the Steelers to Jacksonville, this should feel like a hot knife through butter from what they saw last week defensively. Colts and of course a must-win spot. I wouldn't lay this number with any team, but I do believe Jacksonville gets some points on the board today, and I do believe the Colts score. So I would slight lean over. I know that the total's kind of starting to dip down, but again, my lean would be over the number of 48.
All right, I like it. You guys are saying, why are you wearing sunglasses? So yesterday, my son decided to rip off half my cornea. So I'm very sensitive to light. That's why I look like, as JJ said, the Terminator. You guys too. Hello, you rat bastards. I love you all. Gonna miss you. Oh, you know what? We'll do the show on Friday. I don't know if we're gonna take questions or anything, but I think if we can make time on Friday, that would be really awesome. Green Bay, Chicago. I mean, the sheet play was Green Bay minus 3.5. Basically, if you could get it at 4, it's moved up to 4.5 during the show. Green Bay minus 4.5. The total is 49. That's interesting, JJ. The Packers defense has played much better as of late. They're not forcing that many turnovers, but did you see the schedule? But look back at who Mitch Trubisky ended up tearing up over the last, 3-4 weeks? Some bad teams, man. Really bad teams. And I think he's in a lot of trouble today. I think, 4.5. I wish it was 4. It is a rivalry game, but Aaron Rodgers trying to win the MVP, dude. And we've got the now 2 cornerbacks out for the Bears today. I don't know how the hell they're going to stop Devontae Adams. I mean, how are the Packers not covering this?
The only way they're not is because you could argue, again, just to play devil's advocate, the Bears are one of the most confident teams playing wise in the NFL right now. I mean, this team's playing the best ball they've played all year. Mitch Trubisky's looked the best he's looked, I'd argue, in his career. Now, I know that you said about who he's played, and sure, that's relevant, of course, right? But it's not like this Green Bay defense puts up much of a fight. Green Bay gets the accolades because of how good that offense has been, but their defense is definitely exploitable.
Yep.
Now, in a must-win game for the Bears, Green Bay needs to win, of course, to lock up their seeding, to lock up their 1 seed. So it's not like Green Bay's not motivated today. But look, you can't really put a price on confidence. And Chicago's playing very, very confidently once they made that QB change. So ultimately, I don't mind either side. I think if it's 4.5, it's not a bad idea to start thinking about teasing Chicago up through the 10. But ultimately, who would you pair it with? Needless to say, I'll be off this game myself. But I could definitely see angles for both sides. And yeah, look, I mean, depending on the number you got, I mean, Green Bay could be a good spot, but either way, I'm going to be off this game myself.
All right, very good. I knew you bastards would be making fun of me today, and that's wonderful. I like it. I love you. Terrific. PC Holden. What does that mean? What's PC Holden? Do you want me to say something horrible? I mean, mean? Bad? Come on. I'm already disoriented, guys. Tennessee, Houston. Ooh, I like this one. I like this one to go over, buddy.
So here's what's interesting with this one, right? So must win for Tennessee, right?
The total came down too. Like
it's a big number. It doesn't surprise. I mean, the big numbers like that tend to shy people away. That's the thing, right? You get a big number like this, you get 1 7-8 minute drought, and the total's basically dead.
Yeah,
but
the more we're going to talk this out, the more you're going to talk me off the over on this.
No, I mean, I don't know how you can't. I'll be honest with this game. I know the total's dipping. I don't know how people could be lining up to bet the under for this game. Like, I mean, Houston gives up points to everybody, gives up yards to everybody. Tennessee's defense is by no means, all that good anyway. And they're the worst. And we say this every week, they're the worst defense on third down. I wouldn't surprise me at all. Watson wants to go out with a bang this year, play really well, because I know that he's going to be up the owners and GM's ass in Houston for them to get people, for him to bring in some talent to Houston. Otherwise, he may end up demanding a trade before next year. So I'm sure he wants to go out on a high note. But again, Tennessee's got to win this game. I think you get what we've seen from Tennessee is scoring and giving up points. I mean, their games shootout. Houston's games shootout. Now, I'm not sure off the top of my head how the first time went between these two, but needless to say, it's not crazy to think these teams go up and down the field. I know I've said a few games that I like the over in, and that's not common because usually I'm on the other side of these games. But this game, for me, it's also a game worth teasing. It's tough to imagine Tennessee losing this game. Of course, they could. But at 7, you could take this right down to 1 or half a point. But I guess my favorite look would be a slight lean on the over. But again, not a spot I love. Big numbers like this aren't numbers I often target overs with. But be a slight lean on the over at 54.
So would that be the other part of the tease then? You were saying you wanted a team to tease with. Would you tease this one? Yeah,
so the only issue I have with teasing 7 is you're typically going to pay like $315 to take this to a half point, minus $315, minus 300-ish, which means if you were to pair with another $315, that's going to bring your two-team alternate spread parlay up to like minus 140, minus 145, and that's not really fun. So that's why I don't often like to tease 7, because teasing 7 down to a half is typically very high. The books extra juice it. Yeah. And the extra juice it, in reality, you're only moving through one true key number in 3. In most cases, I'd actually rather tease like a number like 1 up to 7.5 versus a number like 7 down to 1.5, because ultimately you're going to pay the same price. And at least on the ladder from 1.5 to 7.5, you're actually moving through 2 key numbers versus 1. So ultimately just a little call it extra logic there, but
boy,
might have been a lot to sink in with your whole eye situation.
No, I was just placing a bet that as you're talking, you talked me into a bet. It'll be my best bet.
Okay.
That's all I'll tell you. As you were talking, you got me on a bet. Chargers, Kansas City, another 425 game. Kansas City sitting everybody just about. Darwin Thompson is reportedly getting all the carries today, or Le'Veon Bell will get some. Thompson's supposed to carry the load. That's interesting to me. Herbert, great game early in the season against Kansas City. Again, Kansas City sitting some guys here. 5.5 point. Chargers are 5.5 point favorites in Kansas City. I don't know. Anthony Lynn's still their head coach, guys. 43 is the total. I don't care that they're sitting. There's no way the Chargers are covering this, are they?
This is definitely one of those games where I would want to stay off. Because how do you handicap how good the backups for Kansas City are? And at the end of the day, you're right, though. It's still Andy Reid versus Anthony Lynn. Okay. And, look, it's just a spot you want to avoid. Like, I don't care what this number gets to. Maybe value opens up on Kansas City. But how do you know that? Like, if Kansas City literally goes through their entire depth chart, doesn't start anybody today because they don't have to, and it's just the Chargers first stringers versus all the second stringers. But again, what happens here, Holden? Anthony Lynn gets another win and then ends the year on a 4-game winning streak.
He's getting banned.
He's getting talked up. He's getting talked up by all his team too. All of them apparently have his support. But look, this will be a game I avoid.
Dude, there's so much news that's just breaking right now, just for the future. Like Carson Wentz is expected to ask for a trade. Cam Newton's going to be a free agent next season. Dude, there's so much dropping right now.
I don't know if Cam Newton could start for my co-ed flag football team, though.
Well, maybe for the Jaguars. Drew Brees expected to retire at the end of the year, according to Schefter. Dude, there's so much going on. It really is terrific. I love this. And congratulations on the NFL getting through a full season, too.
Yes.
Yeah, thank God. It took a little craziness, but that's good. Guys owe me some money for that, and I hope they end up paying up. Seattle, San Francisco, Seattle 7-point favorites on the road at San Francisco. Seattle needs, I mean, they got to win this game, right? They want to go in there feeling good, feeling sexy. Total here is 46. I mean, Beathard's starting for San Francisco, but this is a rivalry game. You know, I have seen worse Niners teams beat Seattle and vice versa on better Seattle teams. I don't want anything to do with the 7. Do you want anything to do with the 7 or the 46?
Yeah, so this is definitely going to be a game I avoid now. I think if you're looking for a true angle to bet, the under probably makes a little sense. Seattle's defense has been so good over the last 5 to 6 weeks. I mean, like every week they show out and you don't hear much about it. But their offense has been struggling. The wins they've gotten have really been basically because of their defense. CJ Bethgoat, if you will, goes up against the Cardinals last week, so a softer defense. Plays pretty well. I wouldn't say great, but he played pretty well. Kittle helped. The run game helped. This just has a game that probably plays in quicksand for most of it. If this goes over, it's probably because Seattle ends up routing. But that's probably one of the few game scripts for how this game ends up going over. So that's why I would lean the under. Not a spot I love, though, because the total's probably a little low, a little lower than where I'd like it to be to target this under. But with how good Seattle's defense has been, and San Francisco's defenses, there's certainly no pushover despite those injuries they had from earlier in the year. But either way, this will be a game I avoid. I wouldn't want to tease this game either. Like I know you could probably think about teasing Seattle down on a half point or whatever, but not a spot I love in that regard. Primarily because San Fran's still well coached. They're not just going to lay down today. And Seattle's already clinched the division, I think.
And they could be sitting guys in the second half now that I think about it, because if Chicago is getting blown out, then they will I don't know if Carroll's sitting guys in the second half, though. Like, is he looking at the scoreboard and someone's going to tell him, hey, Green Bay's up by 35 with going into the fourth? Are we just going to sit our guys here?
Yeah.
There's too much up in the air. It's too up in the air. You already talked about it at the top. Watch your bankroll. Well, watch what you're betting on today, too. There's so much up in the air. Yeah. All right. We got one more game to get to.
I guess we could circle back. We'll have time. I guess we could circle back to the games we didn't.
I love it. And then, if you guys got questions, why don't you start hitting us up with questions too? That'd be kind of fun just to talk to you about that. Arizona visiting the Rams again. Once again, we have an injury to Kyler Murray. It's a lower body injury. They're not saying what it is. The total here is 41. We got John Wolford starting for the Rams, the Arizona legend. So this is a big revenge game for him, getting back at the whole state that the AAF kind of folded. But I don't want anything to do with this either. Don't want to do it. Tell me, you got anything?
This is a real tough game to call overall because you have no idea what we're going to get from Wolford. Now, look, he could play well. The Cardinals could play well. There's so many injuries on both. I mean, obviously Murray's not 100%. He might not have all his receivers either. And then look, the Rams are missing both running backs, Cooper Kupp, Jared Goff. What bad timing. What bad timing for this Rams team in a borderline must-win spot to have to go through all these injuries. Because this would be a game where probably the Rams would have been at least 3-4, maybe 4.5 point favorites. Instead of all these injuries, now they're actually swings and they're a 3-point dog. Tough spot to lay though. You still know the Rams defense is going to show up today. Wouldn't be crazy for Cardinals to sneak a win, or if Wolford plays good enough to game manage. You still got Sean McVay calling plays. You'd argue maybe the total's a bit low. Maybe you still got two offensive-minded guys calling the plays in this game. But how much risks are both these guys really going to take in a must-win spot? Overall, going to be off this game entirely. But again, if you're looking for angles to bet, I think you can zig and zag both ways. So ultimately, going to be off this one.
I'm just looking at Sports Insights. Why did this thing get steamed down to like pick 'em or one? What's going on? Did we get some news on Arizona here?
The only thing I could think of, I mean, I know some of the receivers are going to be out for Arizona. I don't know who specifically, but
well, you've got Larry Fitzgerald out and you got Christian Kirk out. But this doesn't make any sense to me that this just happened during our show. What the hell's going? Does anybody in the chat? Did you guys see anything? I just don't see anything. I don't. Do you? What the hell happened here? This is wild, man. This is a 4-point swing in, the last 30 minutes. I don't know what to make of it. Are you looking for it? I just don't know. I just don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah, me neither. All right, I'll start looking for that, but that was it. Do we have any questions you want to get to or anything else you want to talk about before we get to questions?
I think we talk about Miami Buffalo. We got some questions on it.
All right, let's do it. Miami Buffalo.
So this game here in particular is probably one of the more interesting ones on the slate. The reason I wasn't going to talk about it was because I'm not going to any betting on it myself. Now, Buffalo doesn't have a whole lot to play for in this spot. I mean, I think they could lock up the 2 seed, I think, with a win. Now, interesting to note, apparently Fitzpatrick's now available for this game. Is that right, Holden?
It's so odd, man. Yeah, what's going on with Fitzpatrick?
I heard that now he's available for this game, and that's kind of swaying the line a bit. But look, I think the big thing here is with the line movement. Again, Miami has everything to play for. It's pretty simple. They win, they're in the playoffs. They lose, they're more than likely going to be out of the playoffs. And Buffalo, like I said, where's their true motivation? They're going to be the 2 seed. I'll tell you what, if I'm Buffalo, I wouldn't mind playing Miami 2 weeks in a row. I don't know if that's how it's going to fall, but how about this? I'd argue the best team out of all the wild cards is the Colts, and they're the one team that's on the outside looking in this week. But look, this game, it's been tough to trust Tua. And the thing with Buffalo is you have no idea how much starters are going to play. Sure, the head coaches might say this, might say that, and the Buffalo probably won't lay down. But Buffalo has so little to play for today. Why would you risk anything crazy? Wouldn't be insane to think that Buffalo runs out their starters for the first half and then pulls everybody for the second half. But I don't know, and because of that, it makes the game tough to handicap.
Yeah, I don't see this Fitzpatrick news. I don't see where he's playing.
I thought I saw somewhere that he was going to be able to be active for the game.
Yeah, he's inactive on the COVID list is what all the you would think the beat reporters would come out and say that.
That's true.
So I don't see Fitzpatrick. Hopefully he gets to the playoffs for the first time. I'm rooting for him, man. I really am. I mean, the dude's cool, but yeah, I have not seen anything on Fitzpatrick. Anything else you wanted to get to?
No, I guess we could take some questions and I could talk on Prize Picks.
Let's do it. Why don't you talk on Prize Picks first?
Okay. Yeah. So I like 3 plays today. Primarily 2 are my favorites, and then I like a third one as an additional. All quarterbacks. So as discussed with the Bucs team total under, I like Tom Brady under his player prop or his number on Prize Picks, 21.8. So 21.8, more or less like 302 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, actually 203 touchdowns, got some 20. So he's going to need like 250 and 3 touchdowns. Like I said, I'm not guaranteed that in my mind that he plays the whole game anyway. This Falcons defense, continue to say, has been bend, don't break. 21.8 is a big number. And again, I think it's a lot of people are looking at what he did last week or, in that Thursday game against or Friday, whatever, against Thursday or Friday against Detroit. And that's not fair because that team had nobody. And then the other one I like is Kyler Murray under 21.5. I mean, first of all, the dude's not 100%. This is a number they're used to hanging for him often. I mean, the dude's not 100%, and he doesn't have receivers, and he's playing arguably the best home defense in the NFL in the Rams. To me, this number is like 3-4 points off, maybe even 5 points. I know that it'd be hard to imagine Kyler Murray's number being like 16.5, but unless he's doing it with his legs today, I don't know how this team is moving the football with consistency. So yeah, of course, if Murray breaks a 50-yard touchdown run, yeah, this thing's probably shot. But ultimately, I'll take my chances on he's not going to. And this is a big number, a number they're used to hanging for him. So happy to take this number under the number. The third play I like, and I think you should combine those two in a 2-player power. And then you could add this one as a 3-player power for a little less money. I like Kirk Cousins over his number. So 21 for Kirk. It's, might seem like a big number for him. I know sometimes these sites will hang like a number like 18.5, 19.5. This spot in particular, though, I can't stress enough. When teams play Detroit, specifically quarterbacks, they go off. He's got no Dalvin Cook. So Madison between the tackles should create a lot more opportunities for Kirk to throw it. I'm sure they're going to want to get Jefferson involved. I think Jefferson's like 110 yards away from breaking the rookie record. I'm sure that'd be a nice little record for him to have if they can get him there. And look, Minnesota's not a team that's going to lay down in this spot either. I already told you guys I leaned the over in this game, even despite the big number. So ultimately, like Kirk as the third one. So again, that's Brady under, Kyler Murray under, and Kirk Cousins over.
My best bet today, as we were talking through the Tennessee-Houston game, I'm not going to bet the over. Points bet. Deshaun Watson over 20.5 fantasy points. That will be my best bet today. I'm going to try and finish strong. This is week 17, so I'm guaranteed over 500, but let's make it a little sexier. Come on. Let's go, JJ. Put it up there.
Over 20.5 fantasy points. Now, let me ask you this, Holden. For people that can't get that type of spread, would you, is there a certain prop you like for Watson maybe to go over as well? Maybe his passing yards as well?
No, I'll give you something else, which is
no. I mean, well, yeah, just for people that can't get the fantasy points prop.
Yeah. I got something else for you. Darwin Thompson, anytime touchdown, plus 325 on points bet too.
Wow.
Just throw a little something out there. If you want to do first touchdown too, it's like an astronomical number. This is a shot. This is like a shot at the moon, and maybe it hits. But he's expected to get the bulk of the carries for Kansas City. Don't tell me they're not going to score at some point in time.
I agree. He can go through the air or through the ground.
Yeah, so I mean that's what I like there. We can look up the Watson props. I just like the whole package together. I think he's going to probably have to run a lot today. They'll be playing catch up. So that's my two plays. Again, the Thompson thing is more like a shot in the dark. I would not put I wouldn't even put a half unit on that. Okay. But the Watson thing, if you can't get that, I don't know what to tell you, man, to be honest with you. That's what I feel best about. I mean, a rushing touchdown for him, totally possible, plus 285 at a couple places. That's not bad. Passing TDs over 1.5, but it's minus 200. You're not going to bother with that. Over 289 yards, I guess we could look at that. 287 is what I see it. That'd be fine, right? Rushing yards, 25.5. Yeah, I could go over that. But again, JJ, I like the whole package with the fantasy points at this point in time. I just, the props are so close. I just don't think 20.5 is going to be that much.
No, I like it. I can't mind it at all. I tell you what, with this line movement though, with the Cardinals, what if somehow Kyler Murray gets ruled out? Like, is that possible?
What's going on? I mean, seriously, dude, I just don't get it. I don't understand why this moved, because there's no news out there besides for Fitzgerald and Christian Kirk not playing. What's the news? And
the weirdest part is that's a 4:00 game. Like, I would expect this kind of movement if the game was at 1. Like, you'd almost think some type of news is going to break about the Cardinals in a negative way. Either the Cardinals in a negative way or the Rams in a positive way, one or the other.
Yeah, I have no idea. Here, let's get to some questions, buddy. Kyle Alexander wants to know, Colts plus 100 to make the playoffs on a promo. Is that worth it? I mean, there's a decent chance. Like, they should win today, and all he needs one of those other teams, one of the teams with the same wins or one more ahead of them to lose. I don't mind that bet.
Now, the Colts get in, of course, hard to imagine they're going to lose today. So the Colts get in if Cleveland loses, if Tennessee loses, or who's the third team?
Cleveland, Tennessee. God damn it. Of course we do.
Or Miami.
Miami. Okay. And I want Fitzpatrick to get in too.
So plus 100, you need one of those three teams to lose outright. So, I mean, plus 300, I mean, it's not crazy, right? I mean, ultimately, I would consider that a good bet, right? Because ultimately,
I would.
If you had to parlay all three of them losing, it wouldn't pay. It would be like probably like closer to minus 240, minus 250, I would think, because all three of them, like the Browns, you would think should win. Tennessee should.
They don't need that.
You just need one of them to lose.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that, Kyle.
I don't mind that either. I might actually go try and find that. What else we got here?
Tyler, Holden's being a narc for this show.
Here, I'll show him again. It's not pink eye. I thought you guys would make fun of me. Last night, box rips half my cornea off. I can't see. It's killing me in the light. Boom, sunglasses. That's why I look like this guy that you guys, PC Holden. Have you ever seen South Park with this PC guy? I don't even know who he is. I haven't seen South Park in years. I haven't seen it. Sorry, guys. Matthew, does Cleveland beat the Steelers today? Yeah, we talked about that game. I mean, it's not a money line play. The money line's ridiculous, isn't it? But -9, we didn't like it.
Yeah, I think it's tough. It's a spot where you could argue maybe to tease down if 8.5 popped up, you could tease it right down to 2.5. But look, would it be crazy that a team like Cleveland that finds ways to not make the playoffs every year find a way today to not make the playoffs? No, it wouldn't be crazy. But I mean, man, they would be a total letdown if they didn't against Pittsburgh with no Ben, and who knows who else they'll sit during the game. I can't imagine TJ Watt plays the entire game. Why would he? So, guys like that, you would think they'll kind of rotate starters in and out. Game means nothing to Pittsburgh, means everything to Cleveland. But wouldn't be crazy to think Cleveland drops today.
We talked about this. Did we talk about much about the Saints and the Panthers?
No,
we got a question about, do you like the over at 46? And, his question would be, and this is James. Was it James? It was Wade. Hey, Wade. Both teams are without running backs. There's going to be a whole bunch of passing. I mean, I don't have a lean on that just because I've seen the Saints offense struggle on the road for so long now with Drew Brees. Oh, you look sad. Are you okay? You see
me?
You got a frown. Are you okay, man?
I was looking up and down the line sheet. I guess I guess
that makes me sad.
Yeah, looking up and down the lines makes me sad. That game, Saints Panthers. Look, it's tough to love points being scored in it. Like I get it, the number's down, so maybe you argue some value now on the over, maybe 46.5. But look, the Saints have no problem playing low-scoring games. The Saints still have a decent amount to play for. Well, actually, do they though? Because if the Packers win, do the Saints have anything to play for?
I don't think so.
Packers are the Packers playing early?
I mean, what are they going to do? They're a late game too. So
the Packers are late.
These teams, my question is, are any of these teams really scoreboard watching to the point where if Green Bay is up by 21 in the fourth quarter, they're going to pull their start?
Yeah, I mean, probably not. No. But look, like you said, I mean, how good is New Orleans going to be between the tackles? You're going to force Drew Brees into a lot of third and longs. And remember, Drew Brees is been a good quarterback because he's got his guys that do well after the catch. He's missing a few of those guys today, specifically out of the backfield. And then, Carolina, look, the old Teddy Bridgewater narrative, when he's a dog, you love to grab him. It wouldn't surprise me for Carolina to come out here, try really hard to win a game end the season on a high note. I would consider the Panthers season a good one, especially with what they were expected to do coming into the year. People expected them to be the second or third worst team in the NFL coming in. Had a good head coaching year from Rule. Offense looked good with Brady. Obviously, they had some injuries, but what team hasn't? I think they try to go out on a high note. I'm not going to say they're going to win this outright, but look, Teddy Bridgewater is a home dog. You got the Saints missing a lot of pieces. If you ask me what I'd like, I'd probably just take the points with Carolina.
Yeah. Oh, James, I'm glad you brought this one up too. I like this. The Jets have scored on every first quarter drive in the last 9 weeks. You remember we were talking about this? It was a couple weeks ago. The Patriots stink in the first quarter. James, that's a terrific dig. I'm glad you found that. But I mean, I'm not betting it, but what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, why not just take the Jets money line first quarter? I don't know what that is, but I mean, protect yourself a bit from them not scoring, because if we argue maybe the Patriots probably won't score either with them being a bad first quarter team, you'd have better luck with just taking them on the money line or lay a point against them against the Pats, because it's hard to imagine the Pats and the Jets scoring in the first quarter, especially with how slow both teams play. But you're right. Adam Gase has game scripted quite a few games pretty well early on. Now, the only issue with that, MC, is a plus 104. Is that a three-way line? Because if it's a three-way line, I don't know if 104 is all that good. If it's a two-way line, when I say three-way line, like as in you'll lose that bet if they're tied after the first quarter. If it's a two-way line, you're getting plus 104. I like that.
You guys are such dicks with your PC principle. I mean, the guy comes in here, I'm working on one eye, you're making fun of me. I hate you guys. I also love you. I love you. Anything else we got here? I'm just looking for some more questions, but no, everyone wants to bust my balls. You look like a cop that would arrest somebody for half a joint. No, I'd take the half a joint.
You do kind of look like a cop that would do that, though, Holden.
Well, hey, I would take the joint and I would smoke it. I'm telling you right now, I'd be a great cop. I'd let everybody go on drugs. You guys can have a good time. I don't care.
But yeah, no, I mean, if nobody else has anything else,
we're out of here.
I think we could call. It's been a fun season, Holden. Been enjoying doing these videos with you. We'll try to do something for the playoffs. Do one video where we break down the 6 games. But needless to say, thanks everybody for hanging out all year. Good luck today with everything. Again, my favorite look today is the Bucs team total under 29.5. Holden's best look is Deshaun Watson over 20.5 fantasy points. And you also liked
listen, if you want to just take a little shot on Darwin Thompson, he's supposed to get the bulk of the carries for the Chiefs today. So that's it. That's just an anytime touchdown, first touchdown. I'm saying they're a very small wager. But again, I think it's not the worst bet in the world. I really don't. Do you want to do a show next week for the 6 playoff games on Friday?
Yeah, I'm trying to think when we could do it. It might make more sense to do it Saturday morning, Holden, if you have the time.
Not going to happen. So
negative. No, so we'll see. Right. We'll play it by ear. We could
play it by ear. How about that?
We also do that Print Factory on Friday nights with them.
Oh yeah, but we did it Friday morning. But who knows? We'll figure it out. We don't have to talk about it now. I did get the South Park reference, guys, and you're a bunch of jerks because that guy's a ding dong.
Okay, well, yeah, guys. As always, thanks for hanging out with us. Good luck today with all your bets. Gamble responsibly, most importantly. And of course, stay safe, everybody. We will be back potentially next week, but regardless, you'll see me on the live show with the guys talking the games today. So I'll catch you all later. Again, stay safe, everybody.